I've got our graphic up with all of Barcelona's healthy available players. We're going to build this out. We'll talk out what we think is the best 11 for Barcelona taking on Real Madrid. I figure we should probably start from the back.
Yeah. So I guess goalkeeper, which Ter Stegen. No, I feel like Ter Stegen has saved us so many times this season. He's on good form. I just hope it continues.
Yeah, amen to that. I've been saying on this channel, I think just about every match preview that Ter Stegen is returning to form. He's getting back to that elite status in Europe, and I'm very excited about it. So yes, agreed on that. No arguments. It's Ter Stegen between the posts.
Okay. Then the defense gets tricky with the injuries, but I think right now I would put Balde as left back because I think on the right back position, yes, he could play on it, but I don't think he feels comfortable at all. And he doesn't track back to help like whoever's on like that right wing side. So if it's Dembele or Rafinha, it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, agreed to that. It was an interesting experiment. His pace works on either side, but you said it. He looks a little bit uncomfortable. So maybe with some more time and training that he can get over that. But I'm with you on that. Balde left back sounds good to me. What else you got?
Center back gets tricky because we do have Kunde that's available, but a lot of we literally have no right backs right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
like you could put Sergio Roberto as right back, but that's going to be a whole issue.
Yeah,
So
Vinny Jr. running at
yeah,
whoever's in that right back position scares me.
it really does. I'm going to say probably Kunde. I got
Okay.
to put him as right back. That's the only option I see right now that could work.
Okay, I dig it. And like I said, Xavi said he's 100% fit. And if that's the case, that's where his role was. Now, is Kunde a better center back than the ones we have currently available? Probably. But
Yeah.
he's also much better than the right backs we have available. And I think I'm going to say he's the only defender that I feel confident marking Vinny Jr. one on one.
Me too. Because I also heard that they want to put Balde in left back and then put Alonso as no wait, sorry. Balde as right back and Alonso at left back. But that's a whole mess in the speed and like I think that's gonna be confusing for the
Yeah,
player.
yeah, agreed. So yeah, I think that's a good balance. Balde left back, Kunde right back. That gives us some pace. That gives us some passing ability. It puts Balde back on his more comfortable left side. I'm with you so far, Leah. You're doing great. What else we got?
Center back, one of them has to be Eric Garcia.
Amen. Amen.
I know people got mad at him
Whoops.
because he made like a mistake versus Inter, but like he's been doing so good. He has improved. One mistake does not like it may have cost us here a goal, but I can't really blame him. You make mistakes, that's how you learn. He's still young.
Yeah, you're gonna make mistakes in football. I would say outside, and even the goal that was given up, could he have marked a little bit tighter? Could he have been a little bit quicker to react after Martinez brought that ball down? Sure. But you could also argue that someone else from Barca should have been around to support defensively, that he marked Martinez or Dzeko, whoever was up top, one on one for a lot of that match. I thought he had an incredible performance. So I'm with you again. Garcia's out there. Who's standing next to him though?
I feel like the only option we have is PK. It's the only option. Christensen is injured. Araujo is injured. We have PK, which I think having maybe Kunde there, maybe like help out because we do have like Eric who's good at passing. Kunde's pretty good. Even like if he plays on that right back role, he could drop back to help defend. So
Yeah.
maybe putting PK there won't be an issue. And maybe he'll actually learn from what happened against Inter and it was just like a fluke.
Yeah, that had to have, I gotta imagine that had to have been a sleepless night for PK. Like he had a rough summer. He hasn't been getting any playing time. Everyone knows that he's on his way out the door. This was a big opportunity on a big stage. And then it wasn't even like there's not even any argument. He was clearly to blame for that first goal. So you know
He's
what?
doing some telekinesis.
You're right. Yeah. I hope that I hope he gets a start and I hope he plays well because the other option is that Alonso is that second center back. And
So slow. That's the issue. Like he's good, but he's slow, and that like is problems. And Real Madrid, I know, are going to counterattack. So that's just not going to work whatsoever.
yeah, yeah, I think I'm cool with PK being out there because he'll mostly mark Benzema, who also lacks pace, right? So that's kind of a scratch. And then that leaves Garcia a little bit more free to close down those initial passes building out from the counterattack when it's going to go to one of their midfielders like a Modric or a Valverde. He can step up with that high press like we saw. So, okay, I'm liking what we got going on here. Let's go to the midfield then. This could be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, this is controversial.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you got, Leah?
Okay, definitely Pedri. Because Pedri has been one of our best midfielders. During that Inter game, he was making passes, like everything he's been doing, he just allows like those forward runs that he makes really helps leads to goals. So I'm gonna keep Pedri in that midfield, no matter what.
Yeah, you can't bench Pedri. You just can't. The little magic man. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. I know that reports are saying Xavi's been asking for more goals, more assists. It'll come. I love his ability to maintain possession and draw not just one but two, sometimes three defenders towards him in the midfield and get out of those dilemmas. So it's very impressive to watch. Puts a smile on my face. One of the little slivers of hope we have even in the dark days of Barcelona. Who's playing next to him?
This gets tricky. I'm going to say this. People are saying take Busquets out, put Kessie in CDM. The issue is Kessie is good. He came back from an injury. He was not even supposed to play for that Inter game, which is another reason why people need to calm down on Xavi for not using him. There's a reason for that. Yep. But every single time he does play in that midfield for Barca, he is not the best midfielder, I would say, at the moment for Barcelona, just because he needs time to adapt. It's a different style. I do see that there's potential there for him to play really well. But again, completely different system, needs more time. It's only been like 2 months, a month, I say. Yeah. I don't know if I would place him. Frankie, on the other hand, maybe I would play in CDM.
Okay, tell me more.
I think that Busquets' pace may be an issue for this game. And after that interview, I think there was an interview where he said, like, our hopes are down after, like, for El Clasico or whatever. Him saying that as a captain, as much as I love him, I just feel like we need positive energy, and that energy is not really as positive. So putting Frankie there, I feel like Frankie right now does want to win, and I think he does contribute, allows Barcelona to push more up front and does make those runs like Pedri does. And he has a good connection with Pedri.
Yeah, I'm into that. So, boy, Leah, I'm jumping on that train with you. I hope Xavi pulls the trigger on it. I hope that not that it's what we saw last year of bench Busquets. I don't want to see that hashtag going on. But if Xavi wants to take a gamble and make a statement, I think this is the match to do it. Yeah. Frankie de Jong at that center defensive mid role. You saw him in the last, 10, 15 minutes against Inter. That was some of the best Frankie that I've seen in that position. He looked determined. He looked like he was comfortable and knew what he was doing, right? So
with Frankie, I think he does drop back also to help out the defense, which is great. And in general, like, he wasn't playing. I don't think the reason he started the Inter Milan game had to do that he picked up a muscle injury, just came back. And muscle injuries are just tricky because it's either you risk playing him, he gets more injured, and then he's out for longer, or you just gamble with the game and just hope for the best.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. And again, some of our fellow culés not taking that into consideration, piling the blame onto Xavi and critiquing his starting 11 and his decisions around substitutes. But yeah, well said. So Gavi then as the third midfielder?
Gavi's been getting a lot of hate, and I don't understand why. It's like a situation between Frankie and Gavi and who starts. For me, Gavi has to start. They have to start together somehow or some way. Gavi he's everywhere on that field. He becomes a center back. He goes up front, becomes like a striker. Then he like goes back into the midfield. He really presses, and I think his fire is necessary for a game like El Clasico.
Amen to that. Again, the passion and the energy that he brings, that doggedness, right? He's a little pit bull. I think that's going to be great energy for El Clasico. I'm very impressed with the commitment that we're seeing from him on the defensive end. We all know what he can do in the midfield on the attack and in the transition, but on the defensive end, tracking back, like you said, getting stuck in on those tackles. So Th- yeah, I'm with you again. I think we're in alignment here, taking a big decision, but Frankie in that defensive mid role with Pedri and Gavi playing in front of him.
I think my only complaint with Gavi is that because he's like, still very young, physicality wise, not the strongest, which makes it easier for like more experienced players to kind of push him on the ground and steal the ball away from him. But that comes, I think, as he gets older. I think the same situation happened with Pedri, then he just gained more muscle and now he's like just more confident.
Yeah, Gavi doesn't shy away from the physical challenges, but he'll in the next couple of years he'll get a little bit more meat on his bones, right? He'll thicken
Yeah.
up a little bit. Another one on that point, and this is again in defense of Xavi. Balde for me is another one of those players. He's got a good physique, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but he's on the smaller side. And going up against Inter with Martinez and Dzeko up top, I think they were just going to body him, and I think that's why he didn't get the start. And I think that was actually the right call from Xavi.
I also think if he would have started and like a mistake would have happened, everyone would have been hating on Balde, and that is not good for his confidence or his like ability to grow as a player. Yes, he needs to like make mistakes to learn, like that's just part of like developing as a player, but not against such a big game like this where if he makes a mistake, all the fans are going to be coming at him, hating on him after, but like a week ago we're praising him. So it's
Yeah.
just not worth it.
Yeah, no, that's again very insightful. Good context to provide there, Leah. That's good for the Kool-Aids from around the world to hear. That's a good message. All right then, on to the attack. What do we got, Leah?
Well, Lewandowski definitely has to be striker. There's
Yeah,
no, that's simple, straightforward.
boom.
The left wing and right wing is where it gets tricky because both Rafinha and Dembele prefer playing on the right wing. They do their best on that side. You play Dembele a left wing, he gives, but he doesn't give the same as he does when he plays on the right. Same thing with Rafinha. We have Ansu who could play left wing, but I think it's a confidence issue. I think a lot of people have been hating on him ever since his injury. People don't understand he was so good before it, and we have to kind of support him and not say that he doesn't deserve the number 10 because the legacy has to just keep moving forward, and we just got to give him our best support so he doesn't have that mental block that he has now.
Yeah, yeah. It is a little bit tricky. You said it again. Dembele and Rafinha both prefer the right side, can play both sides, but
Yeah,
far more productive on the right hand side. So we got our choices, right? What are you going with?
I'm gonna play Dembele at right. I feel like he adds something. He could produce something. I just only could see him playing very well on the right. I think
Yeah.
if we do play Rafinha on the left, they could swap places, which they normally do during the game.
Yep.
So I guess I'm gonna say Dembele right and Rafinha left, just for
Okay.
this.
All right. I here's how I see it. When they're both on the pitch,
Yeah,
you play through whoever is on the right wing. You do that for, 15, 20 minutes and then swap and let the other one be the main focus going through that right wing. Because that
yeah.
allows whoever's on the left to get a little breather. And then again, 15, 20 minutes go by, swap it again. I think that's the best way to get the most out of each player and give the defense a bit of a headache, keeping with the fresh legs rotating like that. Catch your breath, take a little break on that left wing, come back to the right, and go at it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree on that because I would say play Ansu, but I'm just really worried right now with his confidence. And I think having him come on as a sub, that's where I've seen Ansu be more productive. Like he brings that spark when he comes on as a substitute rather than when he starts.
Yeah, and I'm concerned about Fati going 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about also.
Yeah,
I
so
don't want him to get injured.
we'll get there. I think it's gonna be we got to be patient with Ansu Fati. He'll get there, but I think what we got here is a pretty strong starting 11. So just to review, we got, of course, Ter Stegen between the posts. We got Balde, Eric Garcia, Piqué, and Koundé for our back four. We're going with De Jong, replacing Busquets with Pedri and Gavi alongside him. And then we got Rafinha on the left, Lewandowski centrally, and Dembele on the right. That's a pretty sound lineup. I honestly think that's the best that we're going to see, right? Go ahead, Leah.
Yeah, I think that's the best we could do right now. Obviously, I would love Araujo to be there. but he's out. I would love maybe to include Christensen rather than PK, but Christensen's out. But there's good news that that a lot of players may be back the next few weeks or so. So hopefully we get our defense back, and then again, once the World Cup ends, are back to like a Barcelona that's good defensively and defends like a unit.
Yeah, amen to that.